Hello and welcome to episode 13 of this Blender and Unity crash course. This episode we're going to be making some edits to an asset we've edited and created a prefab out of in Unity. Because we created this ourselves in Blender and we have the exact same kind of file set up in Blender, we can make edits to this however we want, and they will transfer into Unity, and I'll show you how to do that right now. So if you go into Blender, you can go File, Open Recent, and your recent project should be right there. So just click Create Asset, and here we have this. Now, what I want to do is change the UV mapping, because if you go in here, we can see that it's we've got it pretty messy. It's overlapping a ton, and we could actually fix this a little bit. We don't need it this high resolution of a texture. I don't think so. For me, I'm actually just going to use this exact texture. I'm not going to tile it or create a higher resolution or anything like that. I'm just going to actually unwrap this again so that it's a little bit smaller and fits in there perfectly. So if you remember, we created the LOD 0 from LOD 1, right? So in saying this, we can't exactly edit all three of these UV maps very easily to be the same, right? If I come in here with all of it selected and I say UV pack islands, it's going to pack all three objects differently, right? There's no overlapping here. So what we really want to do, Control Z, undo that. What we really want to do is just actually delete LOD 2, right? Check this, 0.75 decimate. It's a very easy way to redo that. So let's just delete that, and we can redo that very easily. This one here, all we did was bevel all the edges except the center cube. That's all we did. So we're going to delete LOD 0 as well. Don't worry, it's going to be very easy to redo. Okay, so we have our LOD 1. Let's go in. Let's edit the UV map of this again. Let's go UV editing. So I'm just going to deselect the center cube there. I'm going to say UV, pack islands. Okay, that's going to give us there. You got a margin right here. I think 0.02 is perfect for this. So let's go R90 so that they're all moving in the same direction, going with the grain kind of thing, right? So they look like blocks of wood. I'm going to scale this whole thing down a little bit. I do have two sides of wood here that I don't want to be kind of crossing any of the boards. So let's shrink that down a tiny bit. Maybe a little bit more, because we do have our wall blocks that we want to place there. We got some space here that we could fill. Let's take these two. Let's move them here. And I'm just going to make these a little bit of a stretched texture, most likely. Actually, we could let's leave those the way they are. Let's L select this one, G, X, and slide this out. Okay, that's fine. Good, now we have some space for our other cube here. So let's select the inside cube now. Sorry, let's select the whole thing. I'm going to hold Shift and press L over this island here. I don't want that. Okay, I'm just going to move it all up. Let's scale these down a little bit, and I'm going to try, actually, you know what, let's go UV average island scale, so that they're all the same size. Boom. That's not bad. It's actually going to unattach those, which is good. I like that. Alright, let's just place these in their own respective spots. There's going to be a little bit smaller. We're not going to have as many pieces on the sides. That's okay. And this will work better with static lighting if that's what you decide to use. It's more performant. If your game doesn't have like a day and night cycle and constantly changing lights, it's probably a better way to do it. This might be just fine, all of these up here. Scale that up a tiny bit. This one too. Alright, there we have it. Okay, that's a much better UV map. Now let's quickly, so it's a little bit muddier, you can see that. Now I'm personally okay with that. If you're not, you can get a higher resolution texture. You can leave it the way it was and just use real-time lighting. There's a few things you can do. So I'm just going to leave it like this, a little bit muddy. It's okay. Our coin is not perfectly painted either, you know. So let's go to Layout, and let's create those LODs again. So for the first one, let's just Shift-D, duplicate that. Let's hide that one. Let's rename this LOD 0. Go to Edit Mode, select everything. Shift-L, deselect the cube. Let's go Control-B, bevel. This is all we did. And click. And there's our LOD 0 again. Perfect. So we can go select this one, Shift-D, right-click. Let's do that. Let's change this to LOD 2. Add that decimate modifier. We used collapse. We came down to 0.75. Okay, and that's fine. Now it's just the way it was, but it's a better UV map. So let's export this back into Unity. We're going to see this change just as we've made our edits. So we're going to I'm going to use the circle select and select that origin spot so we get all three. Careful if you select over a light or a camera's origin. Okay, it's at the back there. you'll get those. So you don't want that. You just want to be selecting these. So you can also just click this, hold shift, and click the bottom one there. Control S, I'm going to save that file, export, FBX. Now just in case, for any reason, this doesn't work out, I don't want to save it, I don't want to export it back into this. I want to actually go right into my Unity file. So I'm going to go desktop, like I showed you guys before. Video game projects, right at the bottom is where I save mine. Okay, I'm going to find Crash Course project right there. We're going to go into assets. We saved it in models, and there's our FBX file that's the exact same as the other one in our Crash Course files. It's the exact same file. We're going to go selected objects, apply transform, sure, export, and this is actually going to import it right into Unity right away and replace that file. So click this, and there we have our textures have changed, but our mapping is a lot better. Okay, so that's going to work just fine for me. All right, so that's how you edit something that you've created in Blender, brought into Unity. You can make edits and then export them here if you want, so that both of those files are the same. Where that did work out, let's go export FBX. That did work out for me, so I'm going to go into my original export, click this create asset FBX, and I'm going to replace this one as well, just in case I bring it into another project. It's already set up proper with the new UVs, and I won't have any issues there. Now, if you do want to just create a secondary, just create another asset maybe called static UVs. Like I said, I'm not gonna do that. I'm going to actually just replace it. Click that, export. Okay, now those files are exactly the same, the one in my folder and the one in my game. All right, file, save. That's it for this one, guys. In the next episode, we're going to start creating our broken cube for our character to smash. Maybe we'll get the coin to pop out of it as well. So we've got a little bit more to do before we actually see anything happen. So just bear with me. We are going to create the character very soon, and then we'll get into some coding in Unity so we can get everything working. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.